Good morning, everyone. It's Amy with Mama Bear Blue. We are live here for Mondays with Mom, and I'm here with Mom.
Debbie.
And she's always good about reminding me about my apron, but did you remind me and I didn't do it?
No, I forgot.
So, we have not used Saltwash in a while on our live, so I thought we'd get the Saltwash out. Summer's just around the corner. It was time to do some Beachy Decor. Mom loves mermaids, so we're gonna do a couple little projects with these thrifted boxes. I'll show you this one first, and all the products we're using, as usual, you can get on my website, mamabearblue.com. So this was a cute little treasure chest. It did have a nice curved, pretty top. Do you remember it?
Yes.
And I dropped it, and I cracked the top. But I didn't want to just throw the whole thing out because this box is still cute. And you can see I've already glued molds on it. But it looked like a really neat treasure chest. Got it at Goodwill. Still going to use it. I think it'll be cute as a planter box or, I don't know, something. Even jars with my flowers or paintbrushes in.
Well,
would
yeah,
be cute.
that too.
So we're going to do some Saltwash with some beachy colors. And this one was just a box we've had redone a couple times and painted different ways. And this will be cute with succulents in it.
Yeah.
So same thing. We're going to redo that one. All right. We have already, I didn't want to spend a lot of time doing the molds. So there are some prior lives, I think just recently, where we used resin, didn't we?
Yes.
Okay. So if you go back through my past lives, if you want to check out resin or how to pour those in the molds, you can do that. But we used the lock and key. On mine, I had previously poured some resin keyholes. Actually, that was one I made out of clay last night. Some of these are clay. Mom's Mermaid is made with the air dry clay from IOD. Air dry clay comes in a packet like that. And then a lot of the pieces on here, the starfish and shells, were made with the amazing casting resin. So we got a little jump start. We got those done and glued on, but you can see that keyhole there on that one on mine. And so there was lock and key, that's that one, and then the seashell mold and Sea Sisters, which is the mermaids and some other little embellishments that are cute. So I've got some resin pieces on there. We're good. Okay, so we've glued them on. I've used Tite Bond Quick and Thick and a little bit of hot glue just to kind of stabilize it so that Quick and Thick over time can give a good bond to these, and it works really well. My mermaid and my starfish are just freshly glued, so I think I can still paint over and have it be okay. So what we want to do is take Saltwash this way for the comments.
I think Debbie's watching.
Hi, Debbie.
Hi,
she
Debbie.
Sure is. Debbie, we're doing a patina that's kind of like the one you posted on my comment about the copper, that verdigris patina, sort of like that, only this is with some Saltwash and making some beachy colors. So the Saltwash, the bigger can, it comes in this with a size of can and a scoop. And so all you want to do is take whatever paint. So Saltwash is a paint additive, so you don't need to use water. You actually just add the Saltwash to the paint and mix it up, and it should look about like cake batter. So we haven't mixed up a super attractive color this morning, but it's what I need for the base coat on these. And I've used DIY paints, Prairie Gray and Weathered Wood. I just kind of squirted a little bit of that in there with the Saltwash, and it just thickens it up to like a cake batter consistency. And what that's going to do is just add some texture to our project. You can go online and look up Saltwash. There's lots of effects you can create with it. You can create that sea glass look, which we've done, where we spray it on really, really watered down, and it makes a pretty sea glass, and copper and rust and all kinds of effects. So we are going to take our cheap chip brushes.
Chip brushes.
I buy these on Amazon when I just need a junky kind of throwaway brush, because the Saltwash does kind of really cram up into your bristles, and if you're using your nice brushes, you don't want to do that. So just have these on hand. They're really inexpensive. I might even put my Amazon affiliate link in the comments afterwards so you guys can see about these. So you're going to need one, and I'm going to need one. So we're going to start with just a base coat of what I've mixed up, that combo of Weathered Wood and Prairie Gray. And it's like brownies That looks
Yeah, it
like
does
brownie
look like
batter.
brownies.
We're just going to kind of stipple it on, like the pouncing motion, and make some high spots over the whole thing. I'm even going to go over my metal rivets. And you can...
Uh-oh, I went on my people.
Your people?
I mean, my things.
Yeah, you're supposed to.
Oh, well,
You
you
can.
didn't, and I thought...
Well, no, I was getting ready to. So we want to create a look like these have been like sitting under the ocean for a little bit. Okay? And maybe even like metal. Like maybe they're not wood, maybe they're metal. We can see what kind of effect we can come up with when we put on our pretty blue shades and maybe even a little bit of Summer Crush. I kind of want a rusty look around these metal rivets. I checked beforehand. I have plenty of the Sea Sister molds in stock as well as seashells. And see, doesn't that look like it could be crusty?
Yeah.
Like it's just been, I'll give you guys a close-up in a second.
Like it's been sitting by the ocean.
Right, or beside the ocean, right. So we want to get a coat of that on there. And then I think we're going to need to do all the sides, Mom. But
We are?
yeah.
Well, whatever.
But I don't know if we should do the other sides after and just focus on
On the front?
the front for now.
Well,
And then pictures later. I'm just trying to think about the best use of our time for showing them.
yeah. Well,
Because we will have to dry these. Let's just work on the front parts. Because
Okay.
once we get all the sides done, it's going to be hard to dry them
Mess
without
with, yeah.
getting dirty.
all over us.
All over us. All right. That's plenty of texture. I'm going to need to hit this with the heat gun. I think it'll stretch across the table. So, I want to mix up, I think, sea glass and old 50. It's a bristle from the cheapy chip brushes.
Yeah. I can't get it to go away.
I may add a little bit of old 57 to that, but let me get that chunk out of there. That's actually the cap that had fallen down, and that's why there wasn't a top to that bottle. Goodness. Okay. Oh, yes, we can. Okay, Karen, good. I'm glad you guys can hear. That's good. All right, let's add a little salt wash to this sea glass. Is Waylon playing over there? Little guy.
I don't know what he was getting.
You do. I'm going to add just a tiny bit of water to this, only because that sea glass was just so thick. This needs to be thinned out just a tad. Am I getting you wet?
No, but that thing sprays forever.
Yeah, it does. Oh, Karen, the rockers. That was my other project. Yes. I went with Queen Bee on those. Those have one coat. They need another coat. And then I have to look at them and decide what I'm doing. Stencil, transfer, leave it, add color. I don't know yet. But they're going to look really happy on my front porch. I have a very neutral colored front porch, so those will stand out.
Well,
All right, we have our sea glass, salt wash, and old 57 mix. So it kind of looks like that blue copper.
mm-hmm.
The color that copper looks when it has aged. So we'll see what we can do here. I kind of just want to dab this on in spots and see what happens. We can always go back and cover it up with brown if we need to.
Okay.
Do you need a brush? Probably do.
I'm going to wait and see
what
how
I
you're
do?
doing it.
I'm kind of winging it a little bit, but I do want the majority of this to be blue, and then I think we can sand back a little bit to the brown. So I'm kind of doing that.
Okay.
So you guys can see that. So not full coverage, but Another thing I use these chip brushes for is if I'm using the Salvation Solution primer, or any primer for that matter. That way I don't get it in my brushes and I can just kind of toss these out. Okay. So you can kind of see that we've gone over, but not completely, because you can still see through there to some of the first coat. So it makes it really pop out there. It's nice. You good?
Should I do more up here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your edges. I'd do your edges a little more. Okay, I'm going to heat gun this, and then I'm going to see if I want to try to use some, maybe a little bit of the Summer Crush, the orange color, mixed with some layered chocolate in some of these areas, just to see what it does. A little bit of an experiment. Ooh, I like it. Look how, don't touch that. You almost touched the heat part. Yeah, I love it. I love how crusty, crunchy. You can see little chunks of Saltwash on there. Okay. So let me just, let's try this idea with the mermaid tail real quick. I'm not gonna add any Saltwash to this. I just need a little paint. I'm even just gonna use the same brush that I used for the old 57 mix. This chip brush. Let me just see. If I don't like it, I'll go back over it, but see if I can get it to run just a little bit. Probably going to re-wet all that other Saltwash too. It's all going to run off. That's a lot of water. It's running a little bit, but definitely adds another color to it. Let me get a drier brush. I'm going to use this since it's not Saltwashy. There we go. We're just going to blend in a little bit. Just for another shade of blue.
That looks good.
Yeah. So if you want to do that, Mom, you can dab on this wherever, wet it down good, and then take this dry brush and just kind of blend it in just a little bit. Tail to that in just a few spots. But I do like the idea of putting that on her tail a little bit.
Is that, I don't know if that, is that?
And her scales. I wet mine down pretty good. Okay. Is it coming out? Oh, that's your bad hand.
That's all right. It's getting better. Do I use this to?
That's the dry brush, yep. Just dab it and blend it. Yep. Okay, I think I am good with that. So, let's see what we can do about not Saltwash, but just mixing these colors of Summer Crush. It's a really pretty warm orange. And layered chocolate, looks like chocolate. Uh-oh, you know what's going to make that sound. Sorry. Let me just use the other end of this stick. So it's kind of an orangey brown, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm going to just put it on where the rivets were. Whoop. Okay. Hey Kim, how you doing? It is fun. We're using some Saltwash and some different colors and the mermaid molds and seashells, and we're making some beachy stuff. What do I want to use? Let's use a different brush over here. All right, so this is the Summer Crush layered chocolate. Yeah, that's a good. See that?
Oh yeah.
So where these little rivets were, these bands with the, not rivets, they're actually metal bands. And then dabbing that on, and then I'm gonna spray. What are you ready for?
I don't know. Do you think I need more
Blending.
this?
Yeah. Here, let's wait it down a little more. Did you just dry it?
I didn't.
Sorry.
know.
Okay, good. Don't want to. So I would, here, let's get you an even, use this brush. Oh, you're, it's just still going and going. Use that to keep blending so that you're, just so that the edges of where you put the mermaid tail look like they blend in a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so I put that on those metal strips. And then I'm going to use the water. See if I can get it to run a bit. So it looks rusty and old. It's running a little bit. There we go. It's starting to run down the project. That's a lot of water. See it? I like it.
I do too.
There it goes. Okay. I'm going to hit it with the heat gun, but here it is before we do that. You can kind of see it ran down, still dripping. Ooh, there. Okay, that looks like really rust. That really does look like rust. I'm happy with that. So guys, a good rust combo is layered chocolate and summer crush. Water bottle. There you go. Now, if you don't like that rusty look, you don't have to do that. You can stick with all of the blues, but I'm pretty happy with that. And I'm thinking I might even end with some white wax over this. It seriously looks old. Old, old, old. You want me to... Yeah, you need...
I don't know.
It's not running. Is that what you mean?
Well, it's getting on my mermaid.
You don't want it on your mermaid, do you? You didn't even want this color on your project, did you?
Yes. Well, I didn't even say a word.
Here. Let's just dab it and get it to blend a little without getting all crazy on your mermaid. We won't cover her in that. And we'll get a rag and soak a little bit of that up. It's okay. You can say I don't want rust on my project.
Here, I got it.
I need this anyway.
Okay. I like it. I like
Okay.
the way it
Well,
looks.
if you want to dab a little bit off her arm or off the top of that starfish, yeah. I'm pretty happy with it though. Cute. I'm going to seal it with some Big Top, I think. And then I'm going to put on some white wax. So whenever you're using a colored wax, I know you've heard me say this, you need to either have a sealed base with the Big Top or the liquid patina or a clear wax. That way when you put on your white or your dark or your shipwrecked wax, we didn't think about that. That'd be good for this. Shipwrecked is the pretty teal. I'll show you guys in a second. That way you can rub it back because you have that clear layer underneath. It's much easier to work with. Let me grab the waxes and the Big Top. Trying to decide if white or dark wax is the way I want to go on this.
Well,
But I have a minute to think about that because I have to seal it with Big Top. Let me get one more flat brush. So this is the shipwreck wax. I don't know that I'm using it today, but it's a DIY paint wax. It's kind of really similar to mermaid tail in the colors we're using today. Yours just needs to dry for a second, Mom, before you Big Top it.
I know I could.
But I have to dry mine too, so
well,
just
you
for a
dry
second.
yours.
All right. So Big Top's going on next just to seal this up. All right, your turn. Let's get the big top on there. Big Top is DIY Paint's most durable sealer, clear sealer, water-based. Another tip is when you're using the Big Top, although I'm not doing this right now and I should be, I'm going to pour a little out in the lid, is to pour it out onto a bowl or plate and use it from there so you don't get all the color from your brush onto what's in your can for your future projects. There are so many pretty molds you could use from IOD that would be beautiful on here. You could load this up with seashells, make it a ton to cover the whole thing. Got to get into all the nooks and crannies of these molds. I'm pretty pleased with how it's turning out though. Okay. It's still a little, since this is so fresh, I've noticed that you just need to be gentle with your brush, Mom, when you put this on. I noticed a little bit of smearing, but not horribly. I'm going to pour some more in here for you.
Okay.
Put your Big Top on. All right, let's get this one dried, and then we'll see what some wax can do to our final thing. Let's have a little bit of sealer pooling up around the molds. Sorry, reaching. Like with a little bit of the white, and I'm just going to try it in a corner because if I don't like it, I might want to use dark wax. But here is what I've got. Okay. Let me get my white wax brush, and I think I'll just use a stencil brush because I'm not doing it all over, I don't think. Okay, so this is, I love the DIY wax. It's super easy to use. It smells nice. It doesn't have a bunch of chemicals. I'm just going to dab it on and then get a rag and wipe back just a little bit. It kind of gives that like just like a little bit of a dreamy kind of look. It's soft, buttery wax. Remember the buttery flaky?
Yes.
You guys ever see that? Oh gosh.
YouTube.
It was a YouTube
so
video
funny.
of two older couples trying to do a commercial
Yeah.
for buttery flaky biscuits or something. And the old man just can't get it right. And it's hilarious. I like that.
I do too.
Pretty. Okay, let's wipe it back just a little. Let me get some down in her scales.
Do I still have gloves?
No, you look good. Looks good. I would just dry it at this point. That looks really good. It does look like metal. We've transformed the wood into metal. So just be really light. You don't want to knock any of that Saltwash texture down too much. Oh gosh, I'm loving this. We may need to make this a class.
Oh yeah.
This would be so fun this summer. Just kind of blending the wax in and also knocking off the high spots so that that wax is sitting down in the lower spots and defines it a little more. Look at your face. See your features a little bit better. What do you guys think? Do you like the addition of the white?
I like it.
Alright, the only thing I'm going to test out is Shipwrecked. I don't know that I really need it, but I just kind of want to see what it would look like on here. shipwreck wax. I love using my stencil brushes with my wax. Thanks, Laura. I'm pretty pleased with how it's turning out. I had the idea in my head and I watched a couple of videos of creating this patina and I'm pretty happy with it. Just going to go a little bit around the metal parts with this. But yeah, I love using the stencil brushes with the wax on my smaller projects. Okay. Subtle, but pretty. All right. I could probably keep going, but I think it's time for me to, since it's not, make my, stop. Because it's good. That's going to be such a cute plant box. So I'm going to continue that, not the molds, but the colors around the sides with the base of the weathered wood and prairie gray. And what do you need, Mom? So you've big topped it.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Pretty dry. So you want to dab on white where you want it? That's still pretty warm, so this might melt just like butter, which is okay. It'll be okay.
Oh, this will.
Yeah, because this still feels warm.
Yeah.
And I'll probably paint this part too, the top. I don't know about the inside, but because I plan to have a couple planters in here. Thanks, Karen.
Do you wipe it back?
Yeah. Are you worried? Oh, you're funny. Okay. Yeah, this will be good. I'm happy with it. All right. Well, now you guys know a little bit about Saltwash if you haven't used it before, and how to get this kind of beachy, rusty, crusty look on some thrifted finds.
So you just wipe this?
Yeah, you just kind of wipe it back and blend it in. That looks good. We can even take... sometimes you can take a dry brush over the spots if it's just kind of work it in. Dry brushes are always good for blending. Thanks, Judy.
Let me see that.
All right. Get that all fixed up.
Yeah.
All right, I think we are going to finish the sides up and get some good pictures. And if you guys have any questions, you're watching on the replay, let me know. We appreciate you guys hanging in here with us and supporting us. I appreciate it. MamaBearblue.com for all the products. And we will be back next week with another fun DIY craft or thrift flip. Thanks for watching. Bye.